My name is Elena. I am 32 years old. For 10 years, I built a life with a man named David. We have a beautiful daughter named Chloe, who is 7. I love David with my whole heart. I trusted him completely. I believed he was the most honest and loyal man I had ever known. But I was wrong. So terribly wrong. It all began on a Friday evening. I had a terrible migraine, so I decided to stay home and rest. David was getting ready to go out. He said, "It's Mark's birthday party tonight. I might be a little late." I smiled, though my head was pounding. "Okay, my love," I said. "Have a wonderful time." I took my medicine, watched some television, and soon I fell into a deep sleep. But while I was sleeping, something happened. Something I would never have imagined. Something that would shatter my world into a million pieces. The next morning, the air felt different. David was unusually withdrawn. He was quiet during breakfast, staring into his coffee cup. He avoided my gaze. "Is everything all right?" I asked, trying to sound casual. He just nodded, not looking at me. "Yeah," he mumbled, just a bit tired from the party. But my heart, my intuition, told me something was very, very wrong. The later that afternoon, my best friend, Sarah, came to visit. She had been at the same party. Her face was pale. Her hands were shaking. "Elena," she said, her voice barely a whisper, "I wasn't sure if I should tell you this, but I saw something last night." A cold, sharp fear shot through my body. "What did you see, Sarah?" I asked, my own voice trembling. She took a deep breath. "David, he was in the garden with someone. They were talking very closely. It was his ex-girlfriend, Isabella. And then, Elena, I saw him kiss her." The room began to spin. I felt a physical pain, as if I had been struck in the chest. I couldn't breathe. Are you absolutely sure?" I stammered. She nodded slowly, her eyes filled with pity. "I'm so sorry," she whispered. When David came home that evening, I was waiting for him. I felt strangely calm, a cold, hard calm. I looked directly into his eyes. "We need to talk, now. Tell me the truth. Was Isabella at the party last night?" His face went white. All the color drained away. He looked guilty. He looked trapped. "Yes," he finally admitted, his voice low. "She was there." My heart pounded. "And did you kiss her?" There was a long, heavy silence. It felt like an eternity. "Elena, I had too much to drink. She started talking to me about the past, and it happened. It was a moment of weakness. A stupid, terrible mistake. I love you. I love Chloe. Please, you have to believe me." But I didn't believe him. The trust was broken. "You kissed another woman," I said, my voice shaking with a mixture of hurt and fury. "You didn't just make a mistake, David. You made a choice." He tried to come closer. "It was just one kiss. It didn't mean anything." "Get out," I said, cold and firm. I pointed to the door. "Get out of this house, now." He looked broken, but he didn't argue. He picked up his car keys, and without another word, he walked out. The sound of the door closing felt final. In the days that followed, my phone was flooded. Calls, messages, long pleading texts. "I'm so sorry. I love you. Please give me another chance. I can't live without you and Chloe." I read every word, but I didn't reply. The pain was too fresh, too deep. Then his mother called. "Elena, my dear, please don't be so harsh. All men make foolish errors. My own husband was not perfect, but I forgave him. A family needs to stay together. Think of Chloe." I took a deep, steadying breath. "I am thinking of Chloe," I replied. "I am thinking about the example I set for her. I will not teach my daughter that it's acceptable for a woman to accept disrespect. Chloe can have a relationship with her father, but I cannot have one with a man who betrayed me." Some of my friends told me I was being too strict. They said I should forgive and forget, but they didn't have to lie in our empty bed, feeling the ghost of his betrayal every night. I felt hurt. I felt humiliated. I felt a deep, profound loneliness. Yes, a part of me still loved the man I had married, but love is not always enough. Trust is the foundation of love, and he had shattered that foundation. A week later, David came to the house. He stood on the porch, holding a small bunch of white tulips, my favorite. He looked like a shadow of his former self. His eyes were tired, his shoulders slumped. "Can we talk, Elena, please?" he whispered. I hesitated. A part of me wanted to slam the door shut forever, but I opened it just a little. He took a slow, shaky breath. "I made a catastrophic mistake," he began. "I felt lonely. We had been so busy, you and I, with work, with Chloe. I felt a disconnection, but that is no excuse. I was weak, I was selfish, and I will regret it for the rest of my life." I kept my voice steady, though inside I was trembling. "You didn't just kiss someone, David. You shattered my trust. You broke something inside of me that may never fully heal." He nodded, his eyes filled with tears. "I know, and I don't expect you to forgive me. I miss Chloe. I miss you. I miss the sound of your laughter in this house. You will always be Chloe's father. You can see her whenever you want. But I don't know if I can ever be your wife again in the way that I was." He placed the flowers gently on the porch step. Then he turned and walked away, his figure looking smaller and more defeated than I had ever seen. The following months were a blur of quiet sadness and adjustment. David was consistent. He came every weekend to see Chloe. He was always on time. He brought her books, helped her with her science projects, and even learned to paint her tiny fingernails without making a mess. He stopped making grand declarations of love to me. He just showed up. He was present. He was reliable. I watched him. I saw the change. He wasn't the confident, sometimes arrogant man I had married. He was quieter, more humble, more genuine. One sunny Saturday, he came over early. Chloe was playing in the backyard. He saw me struggling to carry a heavy bag of soil for the garden. He said, "Let me help you with that." We worked side by side in silence for a while. The only sound was the birds singing and Chloe's laughter. After some time, he stopped and looked at me. "Elena, I know I broke your heart. I live with that remorse every single day. I haven't been trying to win you back. I've been trying to become a man who deserves to even be in your presence again." I looked at him, truly looked at him. He seemed older, wiser. The frivolity of his youth was gone, replaced by a quiet strength. He continued, "You have become so strong through all of this, so independent, and I admire you more than ever. If there is even the smallest chance for me, I will spend the rest of my life proving that I can be the man you and Chloe need." I glanced at our daughter, chasing a butterfly, her face full of pure joy. I looked back at David, at the sincere vulnerability in his eyes. The wall of ice around my heart began to crack. "I am not the same woman I was," I said slowly, "and you are not the same man. I am not choosing you because I need to be saved. I'm choosing to let you back in because I believe people can change. I believe in forgiveness, and I believe our family's story might have a second chapter." A single tear rolled down his cheek. He didn't try to hug me. He simply reached out and held my hand, his grip gentle but firm. "Thank you," he whispered. "Thank you for this chance." That night, as I tucked Chloe into bed, she looked up at me with her big, innocent eyes. "Mommy?" she asked. "Is Daddy coming home to stay?" I smoothed her hair and kissed her forehead. "My love," I said softly, "we are already home. We are a family, and we are learning how to love each other in a new way." Sometimes love is tested in the most painful ways. Betrayal can feel like an ending, but sometimes if both people are willing to grow, to heal, and to rebuild with honesty and patience, something new and even more beautiful can emerge from the broken pieces. Not to erase the past, but to build a stronger future. Thank you for listening to The Whisper at the Party. We hope this story helped you learn new words about relationships, emotions, and second chances. If you felt the emotion in this story, please share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for our next English learning story.